Hello everybody, Chief Games 18 here, bringing you a new Civ 5 how to play guide. Less about the gameplay and more about how to approach the Civ 5 game. So today I'll be talking about another new civilization, to the Civilization 5, and that is Venice, who were added in A Brave New World. And obviously some of you may have picked up Brave New World by now. I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic expansion. I'm not paid to do this, I'm just saying it's just utterly amazing. So we're just going to jump straight into it. So as Venice, what can and what can't you do? Well, as Venice, you cannot gain settlers, and you also cannot annex cities. So it's essentially a one city challenge, in a way. Because you have a Merchant of Venice, which appears after researching optics. Now, what these Merchants of Venice do, they replace the Great Merchant, as it says. However, they're free, you get them randomly. And however, a normal Great Merchant, you can send them to a city-state, get a load of gold, however, and get influence. However, with a Great Merchant Venice, you can do this, plus you can buy the city-state, and this will bring it under your control. However, it must be a puppet. It cannot be under your proper control. However, you can purchase buildings and purchase units through the city menu. So that, in a way, you can still kind of have an empire, but it's not solely down to you. It's a puppet. It's a puppet civilization. So that's their special power, one of their special powers, anyway. Also, they get double the normal number of trade routes available, which is just amazing. They'll be, because a trade route is where you have a certain, like a land trade route or a sea trade route. You exchange gold and science between city-states or civs. They give you amount of gold per turn. They give you, I think the normal amount of trade routes you can have in a game with no world wonders, I think is 8 or 9. So double the normal number of trade routes. That's 18 trade routes, and some of them with certain like bonuses. You can make up to 30, 40 gold a turn off them. So 18 and 19 of those, that's about 720 gold per turn if it's 18, I think. That's amazing. So, this is why for the Venetians, I'd highly recommend I recommend a scientific victory, because they've added a thing in Brave New World where every city you have, which is annexed, or just a new city built, increases the science cost. This didn't happen before. This is because you get science from civs now to balance out. However, because of this means you can kind of stay at an equal pace with other civs, but later on in the game, under the Democracy, you can buy spaceship parts with gold, and you'll be making so much gold each turn that you could just easily buy these spaceship parts win the scientific victory. That's one of my recommended ones. Another one I'd say is the diplomatic victory. This is because most of the time you're going to be friends with the city-states, so you can easily have them on your side if you don't want to purchase them, if you just want to stay as one city. But because you're making all this gold, you can easily pay for them to be your ally. So you can get the diplomatic victory easy like that and become leader of the United Nations. Cultural victory, yeah, you can do a cultural victory. You can have certain, as long as you get the cultural buildings and producing culture each turn, you could get the culture, but obviously it's under tourism now. So you could get that. It's not. I wouldn't recommend it as much. I would recommend diplomatic, then scientific, then culture, and last I'd say don't try and do domination victory, because you'll only have one city where you can produce units. You can purchase units, yes, from populated cities, but you're not going to make it that much gold to be able to purchase your army every turn. So I would not recommend the domination victory. So I'll also go in with their last unit, which is the Great Galleass. It's a powerful medieval unit. It's got 10 more production than the Galleass it replaces, but it's got an extra 2 combat, I think, and it's got an extra 4 range combat. So it is very, very good. Yeah, 16 and then 17. So yeah, you get decent amount for the only extra 10 production. So you kind of want to go exploration policy as well. It depends on the map. If there's quite a heavily there's a vast sea in your map, then I'd go with exploration. And also the Great Galleass will really help you out in these situations. And they can also defend your sea trade routes that you'll be making with the many civs in your game. I would also recommend these can obviously defend your shores from barbarians, but they can also defend quite well against other civs who are going for a domination victory as such. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been a Civ 5 how to play as. I'd also say you'd want to go tradition policy and possibly patron. If you're going for diplomatic victory, go for the patronage policies, so you can get the resting point, you can get great people given to you. But also tradition, I'd recommend just for any of the victory types, just because tradition, you're only going to have one city, and the tradition mainly for smaller empires that will really help you out there. I wouldn't go liberty at all. I wouldn't touch it unless you're definitely you're gonna buy like 8 or 9 city states. I'd only recommend buying like 3 or 4, so they can help you out in the diplomatic victory later on. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been a Civ 5 how to play as Venice. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe to the video. I'll be bringing out some more guides of the other 41 civilizations to go. Last video I said I'll do Morocco and Poland. Next time I'll do Morocco and Poland. I want to do Venice, because I just find they're quite easy to talk about. They are quite a unique civilization, obviously, because of the settlers, or the lack of settlers. But that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the video. Chief Gabe 18 out.